Yeah, thank you for having us. And indeed, Tanzania is awaiting just a few hours now till the Vice President Kamala Harris lands on Tanzanian soil. She will be met at the airport by obviously government officials, and she will be led to the Johari Town Hotel where she'll be resting. But her main agenda here with Tanzania is to improve bilateral trade, to boost a deeper relationship between the U.S. and Tanzania, and obviously Tanzania being a strong player in the East African community and region. This is a strategic move by the government of the United States to get closer to Tanzania. She will be at the State House tomorrow talking to President Samia Suluhu Hassan, where they'll discuss issues on trade, women's empowerment, climate change, ICT, and the like, basically trying to bring in more foreign direct investment into the country. She is also expected to meet the Youth Startup Association, whereby she will be talking to some of the most standout startups in Tanzania. Tanzania ranks about 8th in Africa when it comes to startup money, and about $11 million have been poured into 11 projects. $80 million have been poured into 11 projects in the startup ecosystem in Tanzania. So she's really looking to bring some of that American money into Tanzania. It's generally a move to bring Tanzania and the U.S. closer in a variety of fields.
Daniel, we know that there's been an upsurge of security in Ghana when the U.S. Vice President arrived. Just give me a sense of security in Tanzania ahead of that visit. Where are people allowed to go, where are people not allowed to go, and what kind of police presence are you seeing?
Well, as it stands, there have been multiple checks at the airport where she will be landing. There have been rehearsals with the different security units from the Presidential Security Unit at the State House, as well as the National Security Team, the police, and other forms of security agencies that have been going back and forth from the State House to passing through the different route in which the Vice President Kamala will pass, as well as securing the airport. But most of her route will be downtown Dar es Salaam. It will not really come into the high populated areas of the city, places where most of the majority middle income and lower income people are. So I think the government has made sure that indeed there's been various security protocols and checks throughout this week.
Daniel, we've seen a lot of quite senior U.S. officials visiting our continent. Some are saying that it's in order to try and counter Russia and China's impact in Africa and try and kind of make sure that America still has a presence there. On the ground, what are people saying and feeling about this latest visit?
Well, it is a big difference from the former late President John Magufuli's strategy or foreign policy style, in which he was more focused internally. We know that since President Samia Suluhu Hassan took power about a year ago, she has been very open to opening the country up. About 2 years now since she took power, she's been open to opening the country up. She went to China, she went to Europe, she spoke at the UN. So the tempo and tone of the country and the people is a bit more open to visitors and foreign entities. However, it is difficult to remove that sentiment because indeed there have been a lot of senior level Biden administration officials coming into Tanzania, and there's even speculation that President Joe Biden himself will come into the continent this year. So people are asking why so much interest over the last year. There was a big US-Africa summit that African leaders went to the US and met the Biden administration. So there are those sentiments indeed that maybe this is a move to now sort of coax and bring in US influence after seeing that Russia, obviously, and China are really going hard to ensure that they have a close relationship with African governments.